privacy side. So you might have played games like Clash of Clans, Zynga Poker, and FIFA games. So basically, what Helpshift does is basically they provide SDKs which are basically integrated with these customers' app like FIFA, Clash of Clans, and we provide a customer experience to them so that they can basically resolve their end users query. So our SDK is basically installed on 2 billion plus devices. We serve more than 820 million users. We are processing 5 billion plus events daily, and we have around 200 million plus bot steps executed. And for doing all this, how are we doing it? Basically, our infrastructure has 1,000 plus servers deployed on the AWS, and approximately we are like transferring data around 300 GB per hour. So, like like now Jyoti will take on and go ahead with the workshop.
Thank you, Umang. Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is Jyoti. I'm a DevOps engineer at Helpshift, and I'm also I'm DevOps engineer at Helpshift, and I'm also a part of AWS Community Builder. AWS Community Builder is a global platform where experts from AWS shares knowledge between the communities, and we are part of that community where we share the knowledge among ourselves, and we grow in that community. We all will hear from Helpshift will take you to the journey of this workshop. We will first have the theory sessions where what is why we migrated, what is cloud, even what is data centers, why we need it. And then we will have the hands-on experience on AWS, and we will all help you through this journey. Before starting this workshop, I request everyone to just read this slide, the code of conduct. We will not tolerate any harassments of workshop participants in any form. We are dedicated to providing a harassment-free experience for everyone. If we find anyone who is violating these rules, maybe sections and expelled from this workshop if at any time from the organizers. Before starting this workshop, I want to make sure that everyone has marked their attendance, the sheet we provided. I can see a few people just joined, so we will share the sheet again. Please make sure you mark your attendance with proper details, because on the basis of your email ID and the name, we will provide you the AWS user access. So please fill the correct details. Yeah. As I discussed earlier, we will first explain what is the actual infrastructure for running the application in production. What traditionally, hello. Can everyone please mute themselves? If you have any queries, you can post that in chat. So we will understand first what is the infrastructure for running any application in production, what used to happen before, and then what all are the problems cloud is solving for us. We, as a college student, we only develop the code application. We only write the code, and on a really local server, we deploy that or on any laptop. But when we run that in a production, there are a lot of things that matters, and there are a lot of things that we need to run the application in production. As you can see, these are the components we need for running any application. So if you see the block, application is the topmost layer. The top is one of the component of that production infrastructure. Below that, we first have to ensure we have all these components in our infrastructure so that our application can run in the production. We will need a network, we need storage when in any application, let's say a WhatsApp or Facebook or anything, we store a lot of data. So it's not only an application, there needs to be a storage provided with that application. So we should, so this is a really important component for any infrastructure. We need storage as well. Definitely we need servers where we deploy the application which we created. We need virtualization. We want to definitely we will need to interact with that servers. We need operating systems, middleware, data. There's in majority of all the applications, we have lot of data. Let's say even if we take the example of Facebook, there are a lot of personal informations like your username, password, your phone name, number, and everything. Have you ever thought about it, like where it gets stored? We store that in database. So definitely we need databases as well. Let's say when you are sharing the images or media over the internet to any other user, or but it is storing somewhere. It's definitely it is like it's flowing through your phone or devices, but it should be, it is in the records of your application. So there should be some part of storages as well. So the purpose of showing you this slide is, apart from developing an application or from developing and running it into a production environment, we need all these components to have in our data centers. And everything now is provided by cloud. So earlier, what used to happen, we can see this. Yeah. So we checked that these are the components we need for to run any application. Everything is provided on the cloud. So let's start with what is the cloud. The cloud computing is the delivery of computing services like server, storage, databases, networking tools, and softwares over the internet. We have our applications, but we don't have the servers, we don't have storage, we don't have databases. And if we want to run our application in production, if we want to execute that in the real world, we will need all these components, and it's not easy to get it because there is a lot of cost incurred and lot of efforts incurred, and lot of planning and maintenance and operations as well. So it is not possible for us to just get it in a really short time, but cloud does for us. Cloud enables companies to consume a compute resource, everything like from server to storage. Even we can develop applications as well on the cloud. So we don't need to think anything in perspective of the all the components we have seen here below this application. We can everything we can get over the cloud. Now we will see the different deployment models. Deployment models is nothing but how we used to deploy our application earlier, and now how we are doing it right now with cloud. So private cloud is nothing just on premises. So earlier what used to happen, when a organization had to launch their application, they used to purchase and create their own data centers. For that, they used to create, or they used to buy the servers. They used to they had to take a different area where they can build their data center. They had to take care of all the uh, hardware related things like operations, maintenance, the cooling of the data centers. Because let's say, assume the server is like a laptop, so it's a hardware for you. It will have the CPUs, it will have the cooling system and everything. But when you deploy a application on any server, it definitely it will be a really big server. So you will have many side cost, like operation cost, where you need to do that. And the major and the capital cost is your buying your servers, buying databases, buying space for storage, taking care of the networking. And there are a lot of many things that we have to plan with on premises or data centers. So these were the problems, like on premises infrastructure like always require a greater capital investment. That is like the area where you will build your data center, where the hardware cost, the storage cost, the databases, the operational cost. Definitely we will need staff and everything. We will in future we have to do time to time maintenance as well. We have to take care of the cooling of the hardwares. So these were the always challenges with the on premises or private cloud. And with this, there was always a delay of launching an application. So let's say if you are ready with your application code, with your development, still it will take time for you to execute in a production, because that incurs a lot of planning with the on-premises data centers. So on-premises infrastructure refers to an approach where organization manages its own infrastructure, typically in-house. So let's say you have applications, so you will take care of your own infrastructure. You will build your own data center. So that is the private on-premises cloud. This increased risk of data loss as well. Yeah, we do not take care of, let's say, again, we have to we require a lot of strict notice of our data, because data is the really critical thing to have for any application. With even Facebook as well, if you lose any of your chat or any of your personal information, definitely it will be a really big concern for any application or for you as well. So as a organization, you always need to this is a really big concern for you to have a data recovery. There should not be a downtime for your application. There should not be any risk of data loss. But we found in earlier with traditional infrastructure, with the on-premises, the data loss was really at high rate. Limit your company's ability to scale. Yes, if let's say you created your data center, now you want to scale it. Let's say you want to purchase, you require more computing power for your application, you need more servers. So it is really even difficult to again, you have to think for buying the servers and planning everything. So again, it will take, and you will not able to execute that in a really short time. So these are the shortfalls for the on-premises and private cloud. We will see in the next slide how these problems are solved by cloud. Yes. Now the public cloud. Public cloud are owned by and operated by a third-party cloud service provider, definitely like AWS, and it delivered over the internet. It's just they already have a lot of data centers in different regions, and with a really good planning and with a lot of storage and servers, and with a great capacity. We just request them and we will just rent those resources. We we don't need to buy and we don't need to think of the data center in the perspective of the capital investment and definitely the operational expense as well. So if now with with public cloud, let's say you are ready with your application and you want to launch right away, you don't need to think of taking a servers, taking a storage databases and everything. You will just go to the any public cloud and just create your account there, and you will take a server and launch your application. It will be ready for the use for users within a really short period of time. And it solved a lot of big problems, because for many short companies or small companies, they don't have this much fund, because it takes a lot of funds to create even data centers, because they are really costly. So we cannot, and most of these small organizations can't afford that. So with cloud computing, you just go and you just rent their resources and you can run your application at any time. Definitely it is lower cost, because you are not purchasing your servers, you are not creating your own data center. No maintenance, you don't need to take care of the maintenance of your hardware. That is under the cloud. Let's say AWS Azure, they will take care of the hardware and all the other, the networking part, the cooling, maintenance, operations, and everything that will be done by the public cloud. We will just need to take care of our application. Near unlimited scalability. In future, if you want to scale, let's say you want more servers within a really short period of time, even in seconds, you can scale up your servers, you can scale up your infrastructure, and it will be just be in production with a really short time. So that is the again less headache with the public cloud. With on-premises, it used to take a lot of time to even plan. Now, hybrid cloud. Let's say there are a lot of organizations, they have already created their infrastructure on the on-premises or the data centers. Now they want to scale. They again want to expand their infrastructure, but they don't want to invest much on the servers, on the data centers. So what they can do is, and they don't want to waste their investment, what they did with their current infrastructure, the current data center. So there is a deployment model where we can just club the public cloud and the on-premises, and we can just resume, or we can just run our connectivity and the production environment like this. So hybrid cloud is a type of cloud computing that combines on-premises infrastructure with public cloud. It has a lot of benefits. Definitely the control. Organizations can maintain their private infrastructure for sensitive assets or workloads that require low latency. So there are the really critical applications or a really critical requirements where they don't want their data out of their own organization or data centers. So they can keep their such applications which have really sensitive data within their data center. And for other assets, they can move to cloud. So just they can avail both these clouds. Flexibility, they can take advantage of additional resources. There are many advanced services AWS or any cloud has launched. Even they have in perspective of AI ML as well. So this is really difficult to maintain and to have in the private cloud or on premises. We can avail that with hybrid cloud as well. Definitely cost effectiveness. Yes, for scaling, we will not again need to think of the infrastructure and the servers and everything. We can just go and just pay the rent for whatever we are renting the resources. Ease transition to the cloud doesn't have to overwhelming, because you can migrate gradually. Yes, the best thing about any cloud is they have a really smooth migration process. So if you want to migrate your on-premises to cloud, it is possible, and it's a really planned way, and they have a lot of good services to migrate data from on-premises to cloud. Yes. So whatever we discussed in the last slides, it's just a revise of all the slides to just know the differences between data center, cloud, and hybrid model. With data centers, the upfront capital expense, the capital expense means the cost of hardware, the building, the data center, the cost of operations, maintenance is really, really high in comparison to the cloud, because it is available when needed, and we can in future terminate as well. Let's say you want to test any of your application, you can easily test on the cloud. It's a really one second. As we discussed, like for testing purpose, for experimenting anything, we need to always think of again the servers and everything. But with cloud, it is really easy to test, and we can create a lot of environments. Let's say testing, staging, and the production environment, the different type of, and it is really easy to maintain with cloud. But with data centers, it's really limited. And hybrid, it's a connect data center with your cloud resources. So problem solved by the cloud. As we checked, again, the flexibility is a lot with the cloud, because we can anytime change the resources type when needed. Let's say you started with a really small or less number of CPUs servers for your application. In future, now it's required for you to change the size and everything for your because it's like it has a lot of load and everything. So it is really easy to change those options, but with private cloud, it is really difficult. It is cost effective. Yes, pay as you go for what you use. Again, let's say you only want a server, you can avail that on cloud. You don't need to think of where it is. You don't need to purchase. You don't need to do anything. We just select on the console. We will take the server. We will launch our application, and we will be good with our testing or whatever we don't want to run in production. Scalability, it was a really big concern with on-premises, as scaling, and it can have a lot of downtime as well. We don't want, let's say, a Facebook, if it gets down, it will be a really big concern, because if it has a large loads, anytime your application gets down, so it should have a proper scalability, and it really instant scalability for our application. So with on-premises, there were a lot of manual intervention needed for us. So that means we need a lot of operational persons and operational teams there. So with cloud, this is automatic. We can just do the settings, and it can it will scale out for us within a really short time with no downtime of our applications. Elasticity, ability to scale out and scale in when needed. As I mentioned, let's say your application has a really large time in the night, or in day, it's like you need less number of your servers. We can do the settings, and automatically when night, it will scale out for us. It will scale more number of instances for us, and in the morning, it will scale in. So with this, we will save a lot of cost. So we don't need to run constant number of servers regularly or all the time. High availability and fault tolerance. Let's say you created your data center and any disaster happened and your data center is shut down. That means your application is also completely shut. There is no working, and there is no user is able to log in or use your application. So we have to always make our data center highly available. So for making highly available, what we do is we create a small data center, and we create it in a really distance area, so that if something disaster happened with one data center, it should not affect the other part of data center. So that is the high availability, and it is possible with the AWS and all the clouds, but it was really difficult to do and create such infrastructure with on premises. So and fault tolerance, yeah, if there is any fault, we should not have any downtime for application. So it is this problem is solved by cloud. Agility, rapidly develop, test, and launch software application. As we discussed, we can anytime develop our application, anytime we can test and launch software application without thinking of the servers, infrastructure, and everything, and in a really security. Yeah, security is a really big concern of cloud. It will launch everything for us with a really secured environment. So we don't need to think of our data whether it's secured or not. Yeah. So I hope till this point everyone is aware that why cloud is so in boom right now, and why all the organization prefer to use cloud over the on-premises. The major concern was, if we just revise all the points, the capital cost, the initial investment for the servers or for any infrastructure it was really large. So many small organization, even they couldn't afford such cost, and they have to think a lot of aspects of creating data centers and everything. It does not, like, even we don't know, there are a lot of, as we said, lot of components we need for infrastructure. So it's not just only server. We need lot of, like, we have to take care of the routings, we need to take care of the networks, we have to take care of the cooling maintenance, the hardware maintenance, the data centers, the security of the data centers, the operating staffs, and everything. We need that. So for that, the cost is really high. So that problem when solved by cloud, and the cost effectiveness, now it's like really less for executing your application in production with cloud. It is highly available. Available means for any application, we don't want any downtime. For that, we should have a data centers available in a different area and separated by a different zones, so that if any disaster happen with one zone, it should not affect other zones, and we should not have any downtime for that. And yeah, for testing purpose and for developing any application or software launching software, we should not think of, because we always, as a big organization, we always concerned while launching any new feature or any code changes or updates in for any application, we should be ensured that it will run in production. So the testing is really important. So it is really easy with cloud. So now I'll hand over to Rishabh. We will have a few fun quizzes, and then we will resume with our session again. Over to you, Rishabh.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So we've almost covered half of our theory session right now, and it's so what we are trying to do right now is we are just trying to have fun. So it's been sort of a lot of theory, and Some people might lose focus, or some people might have gotten bored. So it's just a very quick 2 to 5 minute quiz where we'll just be randomly throwing riddles or questions at you. It's not technical, so you don't have to have any knowledge of what's being told or about cloud or anything. And it is just a fun session, so we just like to keep it interactive. As soon as you'll see the question, try answering it in the chat, and we'll be recording your answers, obviously. So, are you guys ready? Could you react to the thumbs up? Uh, anyone? Okay, perfect. One's interested, two's interested. Okay, nice. So, let's start with a very easy riddle, okay? So, the current question, you have to guess what the answer is: a brand. So, there are two parts to it. First part is you can do this with your fingers. And the second part is what friends do when they get together. So uh, I'll repeat the question once again. Uh, you, the current question the answer to the current question would be a brand. The first part would be you can do this with your fingers. Second part would be what friends do when they get together. So you could just keep posting answers directly in chat. Don't worry. There's nothing that we can't Google, so that's fine. Okay, we'll be waiting for 15 seconds, and after that we'll change the question. 15 to 30 seconds. Keep answering, and after this we tell you what the answer is. Okay. Okay, I can see a lot of people answering. Nice, nice. Could you Xiaomi M20? Could you rename yourself, please? Because it's very difficult if I have to announce you. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, networking gateway. We've taken this session very seriously. I like it. So we'll proceed to the next question. Thank you for your answers. And the correct answer was Snapchat. So kudos, everyone. Good attempts anyways. So we'll go to a similar sort of a riddle again. So I'd be giving in hints again as we did earlier, and you have to guess the answer. So the current riddle is first word. It consists of two words. So the first word is all living things have it. The second word is it's a popular brand of audio electronics. And a hint is you could see it on any ship, and the most famous being Titanic. So I'll repeat the question once again. Uh, the answer consists of two words. The first word is all living things have it. The second word is a popular brand of audio electronics. And a hint is you could see it on any ship, especially the Titanic. So, okay, there are two words. So, whoever is answering with one word, please. Kubernetes, interesting. Okay, yes. Mhm. Okay. Guys, there are two words. So, मतलब boat is a single word. मतलब सब लोग partial answers देंगे तो मतलब won't make sense. Try. Boat. Okay. Mhm. earbuds. Interesting. Okay, so we'll stop right here. And the answer to this was lifeboat. Okay, so now we'll just now this is a very general knowledge question, more about our country. थोड़ा मिल जाएगा knowledge जिनको नहीं है, and after this we'll get back to our session. So, which state of India is also called the land of festivals? Let me repeat. Which state of India is also called the land of festivals? If okay, Gujarat's a good guess. Rajasthan, okay. So ideally, based on the number of participants we have, all our states should be guessed, right? So come on, guys. Okay. Nice. Kerala. Okay. I see a lot of Rajasthan here. Interesting. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. Oh, okay. So nice. Last 5 seconds. Jaldi jaldi type kar lo सब. Yes. Oh. Cool. So the answer is Nagaland. So whoever's got it right, awesome. The people who did not know this now know that the state which is called the land of festivals in India is Nagaland. So back to you, Jyoti. Thank you guys for participating. It was fun.
Thank you, Rishabh. It was fun. Anyone wants to take break for 5 minutes? We can have a break for 5 minutes and we will resume at right 11. I hope everyone is back from the break. Shall we start with the So we have now a really less theory. Then we will move ahead with the demo. So if you know in your friends, if they left for break, just ask them to join again, as we will have a live demo. Okay. So till now we covered what is the problems, what are the problems solved by cloud, why, what is the on-premises hybrid cloud, on-premises public cloud, what are the problems and advantages, disadvantages. We discussed everything, and then we will move ahead with our public cloud, that is the AWS. We will purely concentrate on this cloud, and we will have our hands-on. Now, so what is AWS? AWS is a subsidiary of Amazon.com that provides on-demand cloud computing platforms to individuals, companies, and governments on a paid subscription basis. As like we already discussed, if we want any resources related to infrastructure, we can avail those services over internet, and that platform like one of the platform is AWS, yeah, it provides all the services it's mentioned, like the compute, app services, networking, messaging, databases, analytics, storage, development, and management tools. There are a lot of things we need for application, that everything we can do with AWS. And they have really good managed services. Yeah. Before that, there are few terms we should know before moving to demo. What is AWS regions? So the AWS regions is a separate geographical area. Each AWS region has multiple isolated locations known as availability zones. So let's say geographical area means in India, we have one region of AWS. That is that we call it regions, and under this region, we will have distributed different separated zones, so that we call it availability zones. So the logic behind creating availability zones are, if we have any disaster with that zone or with that data center, we should not have any shutdown for our application. For keeping those things in mind, to not have any downtime, we create availability zones. So combinedly with all the availability zones, we call it these regions, that is the completely separated geographical area. So there are a lot of, almost we have 27 geographical regions for AWS. That makes it really highly available. And that is why it's the most frequent options for any organizations to go with, because in any country, like in US, Europe, even right now, they have launched one more region in Dubai. So they just keep on increasing their data centers in different regions. So that makes them really high available and easy to access. So if you notice, if we have an application in the India, let's say we want to run it only in India, and the users will be in India. So the data center should also be in India, because if we deploy an application which has data center in US, so we will find a little latency. So with the critical application, so let's say in banking application and everything, we cannot afford that. And that is the requirement for all type of applications. So for that, AWS always makes sure it has the regions developed in majority and of all the geographical areas, and we have really good, and it operates for 87 availability zones, which is used. So the minimum requirement, even while creating any regions, AWS makes sure that one region has minimum 2 availability zones, and many regions has maximum 6 AZs as well. Again, the concept of availability zones, making it highly available. If any of the data center goes down, our application should be in a running state always. And in plan, there are 24 more availability zones and 8 more regions they are still planning. So their expansions is really huge, and that is why it is like really fast to deploy our application and have a good performance with that, because it is not possible for any even as an organization level to make it such high available and have a really less latency. Yes. So again, we will have a detailed discussions for availability zones, high availability to multiple availability zones. Let's say you have in that picture that depicts you have availability zones. In that you have different data centers. So we create this in such a way that it should be in a really far locations, located in a different zones, so that we will have a really low latency for the users which are near to that zone will access that data center. So they will get low latency. And the second reason is, if one of the data center is lost, the connection, the application will again will not have any downtime. It is again be accessible. If we only have one zone, and it is difficult, we will definitely have a shortfall, or completely our application will be shut down. In each region, there will be at least 2 availability zones for fault tolerance. In AZs, a combination of one or more data center in a given region. As I said, we divide our data center in a different part, and we create that availability zones, and all the combined availability zones called as regions. So in one geographical region, we will have more than 2 availability zones. It's a logical grouping of data center in a given region for service high availability. A data center is a location where actual physical data resides. So yeah, the availability zones will have data center. That data center will have your servers, your storage, your databases, and everything where your actual application data and everything resides. A single or couple of data centers are clubbed into a one AZ. Yes. Now we are like almost near to our demo sessions. These are the core services of AWS, which definitely we need for all the services we should have. And these are the really basic services. AWS has 200 plus services onboarded on AWS. But for running any basic service for any infrastructure for any application, we at least need these services. And it is like needed for any organization. So it has these 5 core services, compute, and even this as well. According to the requirement, they have lot of services, so which you can explore after that. The core services are compute, storage, and content delivery, databases, networking, and administration and security. When we will go ahead with our demo, I will tell you the why we are using these services, what is the purpose of using the service, what is the role of the service. Yeah, so let's start with our demo. So we will be providing you a sheet where you will have your credentials already. You just need to go to that link and type your username and password. We also have allocated you a breakout rooms. If you find any difficulty, you can join that breakout rooms, and that respective volunteer will help you. Okay, so are we good with So I hope everyone has marked their attendance because on the basis of those data only we have created the credentials. If not, you can mention your name in the chat. We can provide you the access. Let's log in on the link and type in the username and the password. And if anyone face any problem in that sheet, you will have assigned room. Many people or room 1 or room 0, you can just join that and we will help you to log in on the console. Yeah. So this is the screen when you logged in. This is how it looks like. I request everyone, just don't do anything right now. We will do together. So just if you logged in, stay there and just give us thumbs up that you are successfully logged in. For the people who are facing problems with login, you can join your assigned breakout rooms and solve your problem, and then we will together have hands-on. Vinayak, do you like have your okay. Vinayak, just check your name in the sheet and check if you have the credentials and everything assigned. If not, then we can provide you the access.
Okay.
Mohit, can you ask your respective person in the breakout room for the help? Shall we move ahead with her demo? Can we start with her services? If anyone is still facing the issues, can they raise the issues in this chat? Nitish, can you join your respective breakout room that the respective person can help you for that? Dhruv, if your name is not mentioned, then can you please join, if you able to see the option of breakout room, you can join any of the breakout room. There we will provide you the access. Hardik, can you tell your batchmate to join any of the breakout room? Yeah. Everyone, please make sure that they are in the Mumbai region, that we can see in the right side of the console. If you are not, just select the Mumbai region. Now, we will first start with S3 services. So just type in the search bar S3 and click on the S3. Let me know if you people are with me. You can thumbs up. In the search bar, type S3 and just click on the S3 service. Okay. So we will work on this service after 2 minutes. Still, few people are facing issues with login. Till now, please don't do anything. Just make sure that you are in the, so here with S3, it's a global service, so you will find this option. But for everything we will do in Mumbai region. So please make sure you are in the Mumbai region always. So a few people are still in breakout room, so we will wait for them. Mohit and Shubham, have you guys filled your attendance? You marked your attendance with that Google form? Okay. So, Sarika, please share that sheet again with them. So you will have your credentials and login details there. So in that sheet, search your name and okay. Shubham, just hold on for 2 minutes. We will start with history.
Yes, it's one of your but this is not working yet, but yeah, this is working.
Sarika, can you please help Dhruv for his details? His name is not mentioned in the sheet. We will share that attendance sheet link again. Just mark your attendance there. So let's start with creating bucket. If people are not with us, again, you can join the breakout rooms and we will help you there. So for creating a bucket, let's click on the create bucket. Yes. So first we should know what is S3. So S3 is a simple storage services for any application, like the images, media, and everything. We can store all the text files, the logs related to the applications, the server logs, and the backups of databases as well. We store on S3. So for S3, we store like the images, the media, like the videos, text files, and also we can host a static site as well. So for this, first we will create the bucket. The bucket is not just a folder we create on S3. So for creating a bucket, you should always have a unique name. So I prefer you people to just create your bucket by your name and your birth year. So there should not be a duplicacy in creating a bucket. So let's create a bucket. So let's say I'm creating with Jyoti Gehlot, 1998. In the AWS region, let's mention Mumbai region, right? Now, so here what we are doing is, as I mentioned, we can store the images, we can store the text file, we can store the media files and everything in this bucket. So the purpose we use is with this, we can store a lot of application related data in this bucket. So for storing that, we create first bucket. Bucket is just a folder. In that, so today in our exercise, we will host a static website. I hope you people are aware what is static website. Static website is just a simple HTML page. So we will provide you a HTML site in the chat. So you just need to upload that in that bucket. So for accessing publicly, like we will see that HTML the website over the internet. So we should not block the access of public, right? So if you, while creating this bucket, if you see here, we block all the public access. So if we only keep it like this, we will not able to see our static website on the browser. So just uncheck this option and do nothing, just create your bucket. So see, I got two errors. I mentioned my J letter in capital. So there should not be a capital letter in your bucket name. While unblocking all the public access, you will have to provide acknowledgement as well. So just click on that and just click the create the bucket. It's pretty simple. Mention your bucket name, choose region as Mumbai region, unblock all the public access because we will host a static site in this bucket. Then we don't need to touch anything here and just a create bucket. Right. After creating a bucket, click on your bucket. We will upload a file. So we will share a HTML file with you. You just need to download that from the chat and upload it here. Rishabh, can you please share that HTML file in the chat? I hope everyone has created their buckets. I can see only really few people have created. Again, just go to create bucket, provide your bucket name, select region as Mumbai region, unblock all the public accesses and create the bucket. Krishna Kumar, have you like filled your attendance? Okay. Are you able to see the breakout rooms on your screen, Zoom screen. For the people who have created the bucket, we have attached one HTML file in the chat. Just download it. Yes. Go back to your console, go back to your buckets, and choose the bucket which you have created and just upload that from your computer, which you just downloaded. Here you will see on clicking on the upload, just do add files and add this HTML file which we just shared and just click on upload. Pawan and Krishna, do you have your username and password? Okay. After uploading a file, you will able to see the screen. Just click on this link. You will get this window. Here you will get the object URL. Just copy it and paste in your browser. Just go to your bucket again and just from here, just type, click on open. You should see this site. So the HTML page has all this content. We just hosted a static file. So you should see this web page in your browser. So this is by the bucket we are able to see this. Let me know how many people are with me. Yes. Rahul, just go back to your web. Go back to your bucket. Right. When you click on your bucket name, you should be able to see this file like this. Click on here and just click on open. So when you click on it, it will be prompt in a new tab. Again, for uploading, okay. So for the people who are facing the issues, first we will create a new bucket. We will create a bucket with a name and your birth here. Just type your name here and your birth here. The reason is we always, as it's a global service, it should have, the bucket name should have a unique name. We will mention the bucket name as your name and the birth year. And then we will choose it. By default, it should be Mumbai. But if it's not, just click on the Mumbai region. We will uncheck this public access. And we will create the bucket. Right? After creating a bucket, you should see your bucket in here in the console. Then we will click on here and just go to upload. And we attached one file. Download that file from the chat box. Neha, can you please share that file again in the chat? So we have shared one HTML file in the chat. Download it and upload in this bucket. When you are done with the upload, just go back to your bucket. You should be able to see this uploaded file here. Click on it and click on open. You should be able to see a web page like this. So with this, what we did is we hosted a static file on S3. Yes, we shared. Please let us know how many people are able to see this web page in their laptop. Anant, you are able to upload and see the website on the browser, right? Yeah. So as we discussed, S3 is a simple storage service. So this we use for storing the media files, like we can store the images, we can store the text files. Text file means we can store the application logs and everything. For any application, this is must to use and must to have. That we should always keep all the application related data somewhere. So we generally prefer to store that in S3. As I said, we can host a static website. So right now the activity what we did, we hosted a HTML site on the S3 and we could see the direct output on the browser through a link provided by S3. Also, if you are running a databases, so right, what happened if you lost your database? Let's say your database got stopped or you lost your data in that database. So mostly, if you are aware, let's say in Facebook, we have our login credentials, right? We log in through username, password, and we have a lot of contact data and everything that we generally store in databases. So somehow if we lost our database, so we will not able to log in, and that is a really critical situation. So for that, what we do is we generally back up all those data in S3. So let's say in future, if we lost the data, we can again get back from the storages and we can create the DB out of that. So there are multiple purposes of using S3. As I said, the application will support images and everything. We can store that, static files, the media files, logs, backups, and everything. The people who are still facing the issues with the links and login, you can join the breakout rooms. We will help you there. Yeah. So if you have the credentials with you, you can log in the console link and just log in again. Are we good with till S3?
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have one doubt. In our bucket, ma'am, okay, there is a properties option, right? Near next to object.
Yes.
Can you open any bucket?
Yes.
Then properties ना लास्ट में भी एक ऑप्शन है वो क्या है स्टैटिक वेबसाइट होस्टिंग
This is what we did. Do you have like understanding of? So we have two type of websites. One is static and one is dynamic. So static means it's just a normal HTML page, and which dynamic we will provide and we will store some kind of data. Let's say a site which requires a login details or anything, which we call it dynamic. So for hosting such type of website, we always need a server, right? But the site we just hosted, that is just a simple HTML page. So that is, so let's say you only want such type of hosting, so that we can directly do with S3, because see, even with cloud as well, for all the services, the pricing is different. So for S3, the price is different, and for EC2, the price is different. But if you only want to host your static website, the only web page, that we could do by this service. Let's say you have a really different dynamic website, then we will go with servers, the compute. There we will require a compute service like EC2 or Lambda, like this. Yes, sure. So again, for uploading a file, just go back to your bucket that you created. Here you will get the upload option, and we are adding a file. So just click on add file, and the file which you just downloaded from a chat box, just add that here and click on the upload. It will be uploaded, and you should see that file uploaded like this. Click on this checkbox and click on open. Nitesh, just go back, type S3 in your console window. then you should be able to see a window like this. Then create a bucket here. Name a bucket like your name and your birth year. You should select a region as Mumbai region. Unblock all the public accesses, untick this and give acknowledgement and create a bucket. Okay. After creating a bucket, go back to your bucket again and upload the file which we shared on the chat.
Hello, madam. In S3 bucket, there is a one option, ACL disable and ACL enable. What type of which option I will click? ACL disable or ACL enable?
You don't need to click on anything there.
Okay.
We are not managing any object. So that is the access control list. That is a really advanced topic. We are not doing that for you. Just click on the bucket, create bucket here. You just need to unblock this option. Don't check or uncheck anything. Provide the acknowledgement and go to submit. Go to create the bucket. So for the people who are done, let's have a fun quiz. Do you want to have fun quiz again before moving to next service?
Hello, madam. In S3 bucket, we have only host static website, but I want to host dynamic website. So what option we can choose in AWS?
Yes, we will see those services after this service. So once everyone are done with it, then we will check that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So before moving ahead, let's start with our fun quizzes. So Neha, over to you. Okay. So we will, yeah, you can
Are
start.
you guys ready for the next round of fun quiz? By show of hands, let me know who's excited. Yeah, let me just check something up. So, yeah. So here's a question about India. So the question is, who is known as the woman of India? I'll repeat the question. Who is known as the missile woman of India? Kalpana Chawla. Oh, nice guess. But yeah, it's not. Oh yeah, Pawan and Arjun got the answer right. It's Tessie Thomas. So yeah, let's move ahead with the next question. Um, let's do something fun. It's basically it's a question of what am I? So the first part is I am pronounced as a one-letter alphabet. I am written with 3 letters. I am complete with just 2 letters. I am double. I am blue. I am black. I can be brown. I am gray. I am yellow and I am green. I can read from both ends. I appear the same way every day. I repeat the question. I am pronounced as a one-letter alphabet. I am written with 3 letters. I am complete with just 2 letters. I am double. I am blue. I am black. I am brown. I am gray. I am yellow and I am green. I can read from both ends. I appear the same every day. Who am I? What am I? Yeah, you got it right. So, yeah, now let's go ahead with another one. So it's basically, so the first part is 5 letters. So doctors ask you to include more of it in your diet. The first part of the word, which is of 5 letters. And second part is of also is also of 5 letters. It's